What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, as you can see in the title, Week Rugby Championship is the cause of the All Blacks being exposed to teams like Ireland and the other Northern Hemisphere teams. Now, there is some truth to it, but I also have my thoughts and opinions on this matter, and also disagreement with that topic. Now, this was brought up recently by Stuart Barnes in the media in obviously England, and he makes a good point. But there are reasons as to why I think he's wrong, and also why I think he's right. But it doesn't quite deal for me with the Rugby Championship. I want to bring in the Super Rugby, especially in this matter, because over there I feel there is a situation where the All Black teams aren't being challenged enough. But before we get into this topic and this title, if you're new here and haven't yet subscribed yet, make sure you've hit the subscribe button, join the family. Yes, just the other day, over the weekend, we had 10,000 subscribers. I've done a big thank you video in tribute to you guys, my subscribers. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be in the link above. So go check that out. And yeah, let's get to today's topic. Now, the All Blacks obviously have had a very interesting year. They've lost to South Africa in New Zealand for the first time in over 10 years or so, which was quite a big thing and a big talk. Now, yes, before we get into that, I do have thoughts on that as well. Then the All Blacks lost to Ireland just the other day in Dublin for the first time ever. Now, does this mean the All Blacks are falling apart? Does it mean they're not in a good place? Hell no. They are in a great place. One thing we must remember is, yes, the All Blacks lost. But think of the scoreline. Think of how close it was. Think of those dying seconds, who was on attack. And think also, just one small error cost them a game. Against Ireland, we saw it was Brodie Retallick unfortunately dropping the ball. Now that doesn't happen for a player like Brodie Retallick, as he's one of the best rugby players in the world. So one little mistake, if he had carried on with that ball, New Zealand could have scored, and we would be talking about a New Zealand win over Ireland, but a great fighting effort from the Irish. If we go back to South Africa and New Zealand, Beauden Barrett just didn't have his kicking boots on. If he had capitalised on all his kicks, New Zealand would have won. But one thing's for sure, guys, and this is an important thing to remember, wherever you're from or from around the world, is the All Blacks don't stop until the ball is dead in that final minute. They are either attacking to the death, defending to the death, trying to find ways to steal the ball or score tries, or to break hearts with a drop. Okay, not quite a drop goal, but we've seen that come up recently as drop goals, a penalty kick, which also doesn't happen. But there's these opportunities that are made that give the All Blacks the opportunity to take this on. So it's not like they've been smashed. It's not like they've been destroyed or humiliated. They've just lost. And for me, you're human. You can't win everything. They've been dominant for how many years? They still are the best in the world, which is an important aspect to once again remember. Now, not taking anything away from Ireland. They are, for 2018, the best team in the world. They've done so much, achieved so much, and are rightly the World Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, all so well deserved. But from going back to where we are, yes, they've done that, but we can't forget of what the All Blacks have achieved. They did win the Rugby Championship. Their provincial team won the Super Rugby, which are still two dominant things to remember. So you've got the dominant forces still at the top. They're still holding on to that reign. Why are they holding on to that reign? It's because they've kept it for so long. They've built it up. And a few losses here and there is not the end of the world. I mean, I've been hearing of talks in New Zealand media of them calling for Kieran Reid to step down, Steve Hansen to step down. I mean, come on, guys. Look at what they've achieved until now. Can you really want to kick two fantastic leaders within the squad out for losing just 2 games of the year? Only 2. Look at Australia. Look at the Springboks. They've lost way more. You've got to be patient with the team, and you can't expect miracles. And I think that's the one disadvantage of being a winning team for so long. One mishap, you are disregarded. You are highly unrated and all that stuff. And it's sad because we forget on all the achievements that they have achieved within this year, within the previous year, within the year before that. Having 3 World Cups to their name, firm favourites of being a fourth, a third in a row. Those are aspects that we mustn't forget. Now, going back to the topic, which is the competition within the Rugby Championship. Now, where I disagree with Stuart Barnes is that they've had pretty much a good run of competition this year. Yes, Australia are weak. Yes, Argentina aren't the strongest. But both those teams did challenge the All Blacks and gave them a run for their money. It was only come second half when the All Blacks caught a wake-up. Now that is a recurring thing for the All Blacks. They keep coming back at the end and show complete dominance. But one thing we must remember, and yes, the die-hard fans might say the All Blacks are just sitting back before the kill. Fine, that may be the case, but they did have competition at the start. They did look rattled. They did make errors in those first halves of those games. And so for me, competition was there. However, for a full 80-minute game, yes, I agree. Then the teams tire out and the All Blacks' fitness levels kick in. And that is one thing where the All Blacks are way ahead of the other Southern Hemisphere teams, is fitness level. The depth within the squad is so important. Now we look at South Africa. Think of the closeness between those two teams and the games. Now if we look at the New Zealand game, so many people were writing off the Springboks, were saying they're going to get thumped, they're going to get another 57, if not more, it's going to go to the hundreds. All those comments were made, but yet South Africa won that game. They shocked the world, they shocked the rugby union, because they played to the level of the All Blacks. They kept the intensity, they kept strong, they never gave up, they believed in themselves and they played till the death. That is why they won. They capitalised on the opportunities which the All Blacks didn't. Why? Because they were under pressure. And you can throw all the stuff of maybe it's not their first team, Dane Coles was injured, Brodie Retallick, or blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, they were under pressure. And why? Because the competitive level of both teams was there. They were both trying to be the best, and we always see that intensity from this rivalry between South Africa and the All Blacks. It was intense. When they came to Loftus, it was just intense. South Africa dominated the first half, completely outsmarting the All Blacks in those aspects. But then the All Blacks' cleverness in the 65th minute and onwards came back, and they took it on and just won the game. But again, competitive level, it was a competitive game and the competition was there. So from that point of view, Rugby Championship, yes, maybe another stronger team or two might give the All Blacks the fight and the desire, but one thing Stuart mustn't forget is that South Africa gave them competition. The Wallabies gave them a slight bit in this first half. And don't forget, Argentina definitely put up a fight. It wasn't the drumming that we thought we would see. So there is improvement, but I understand what he means. Now, point 2, where I will come to an agreement here, is Super Rugby level. Or actually, I'm bringing this topic in more. Super Rugby has been dominated for the past how many years by All Black teams, and the conference system is such a stuff up because of one group being New Zealand, Australasia, South Africa, and the teams within New Zealand, especially the bottom two, miss out because of the conference system. The two first in the other two conferences. So these two teams, who are probably and definitely are most of the time rated in points higher than, let's say, Sharks and the Stormers, the Brumbies and the Waratahs, they have to sit out. Meaning the competition level for the All Blacks, it's only competitive when they play against each other. The Sharks didn't give in enough for me this year. The Brumbies and the Waratahs weren't as strong as they were many years ago. Stormers, they just weren't there. Bulls weren't there. Yes, these teams are improving, and I believe in this year's or next year's Super Rugby we will see more competition from the teams. But the same old is the All Black teams are always dominating the tournament. As Crusaders, pretty much always winning. And with the Highlanders or it's the Hurricanes, they're always in the final, but they don't get to meet because of the conference system. So how do we solve that problem? Scrap the conference system, go back to the old school. There's talk of Super 14 coming back, so play it on a full log list, and the best teams play each other at the top for the playoffs. That's how I see it, and I think should see it going. Not the first team from South Africa, first team from Australia, first team from New Zealand. First team, whoever's the best, play each other, and that will bring up more competition within the Super Rugby, in my humble opinion. Now, obviously, you guys will have your own thoughts and suggestions, so please leave them down in the comment section below. But as for the Rugby Championship being weak, I don't think it's weak. We're seeing competitive rugby from the teams. Yes, Australia are weak at the moment. They're probably one of the poorest, with Argentina. But one thing we must remember is Argentina are on the rise. They are having moments. They are having impressive performances where they're giving a competitive fight. So call it weak. We are seeing improvement there. We're seeing improvement in South Africa. Weak, yes, last year, by all means. But this year we've seen improvement. So I don't call the Rugby Championship that weak. South Africa winning 50% of their games. Not too bad. Just lost to England, a game South Africa should have won. We should have walked away with a good 3-4 run, but we didn't. So what do? We move on, we get up, and we find new strategies in order to do it. Watch out, I think, for the Southern Hemisphere teams. Yes, we've been hit by a few bumps here and there, and we've seen it, but you can't write us off. You can't count us out. Why? Because look at the World Cup titles. Who's got the most? New Zealand 3, South Africa 2, England are there, Australia are there. But this is the opportunity where the Southern Hemisphere teams better not be too cocky, because we've got Ireland who are right there. They are the top. They'll now become favourites to win the World Cup alongside New Zealand. You've got England who are on the rise again after being so poorly down. You have Wales who just keep getting better and better and developing. You can never count them out. Dark horses, Scotland, watch out for them. France, watch out for them. There are teams there with the playing capacity who can totally destroy a team or kick you out in the last minute. So for me to say it's weak, it's improving, it's getting better, and it's going to be competitive. So watch out. Southern Hemisphere is still there. I think I might have said Northern earlier, but I meant Southern Hemisphere is there and will fight back. That I can guarantee you, because of the development phase where we were last year to where we are now. It is improving and it's going to get stronger. But again, I'm open to debate. I'm open to thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you, I know Sam Jones and them might say he agrees Rugby Championship isn't competitive, All Blacks completely dominant, but just remember the result between the Springboks and the first halves of the previous games. Yes, fine, Australia are weak, but Argentina are improving and are giving a little bit of a fight. So watch out for next year. I believe 2019 is going to be probably one of the most competitive years of rugby we will witness. Six Nations is going to be immense because teams are going to want to prove a point. We're going to see the championship. Australia are going to need to catch a wake up, whether they have Checker or whether they have Jake White. Who knows? They're going to have to. Argentina are going to have to continue in the rise. And as I said, Six Nations teams, Southern Hemisphere, need to watch out, but Northern Hemisphere also need to watch out because we are on the rise. So it's going to be an epic year of rugby, and I honestly cannot wait to review it all. It is going to be absolutely unbelievable. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think on this topic, and do you agree or disagree? Let me know why, and we'll discuss this further in the comments. If you're new here and haven't yet subscribed yet, as mentioned earlier, please hit the subscribe button, join the family. We have just passed 10,000. Next year goal 20,000. Can we get there? With the rate you guys support me, I think it's definitely possible, but we'll cross that bridge. But make sure you subscribe, make sure you got the bell notification turned on, because that is important for you to get a notification for all the videos to come. We've got a few more planned before the end of the year, so make sure you are ready and waiting, because they are coming. So stay safe and never give up, and thanks so much for watching. Give it a like. See you soon, guys. Cheers.